Chapter 94. As there seems no other way out, let me go to see Jiang Ziya at the risk of my life. I know Jiang quite well. I'll try to persuade him to withdraw and order the dukes back to their own dukedoms. I can only pray that I will meet with success. If not, I will swear at them and thus sacrifice my life. King Zhou agreed to his plan, and Ying Pobai went directly to the Zhou camp. When he was admitted, Ying Pobai saw Jiang Ziya sitting in the upper middle seat, with the nobles gathered on his left and right. He moved up and said, "Dear Commander Jiang, I beg your pardon that I can't offer you a full salutation, as I'm fully armored. Dear old General Ying, what may we hear from you?" Jiang Ziya asked. "It's been a long time since we last met, dear Commander. I must congratulate you now as head of the army and leader of the dukes. I've ventured here to have a word with you. Would you kindly hear me out?" "Yes, certainly. Please take a seat." Ying Pobai sat down and began. "As we all know, the king's honor is as high as heaven. We need a king just as we must have heaven. Besides, according to the law, any minister who attacks another without the king's command is called a rebelling minister, and a rebelling minister must be punished by death. Any minister who unites others against the king is called a treacherous minister, and a treacherous minister and his whole family must be sentenced to death. He will be proclaimed as public enemy number one. Every duke is bestowed with the grace of many generations, and all are subjects of King Zhou. How can you be so ungrateful as to rebel against His Majesty? You are such a treacherous rebel and will be condemned throughout history for 10,000 years. I wish to advise you to immediately send all the dukes back to their dukedoms. His Majesty may then pardon you, and you can escape punishment. What do you think?" Jiang Ziya replied with a smile. "You've got it all wrong, General. It's often said that the kingdom does not belong to one person. It's owned by all. The will of heaven is subject to change, and it always favors the virtuous. In ancient times, Yao offered his throne to Shun, Shun to Yu, and Yu to his descendants. His last successor, however, lost the Xia dynasty, and the founder of the new was favored by heaven for his great virtue. It's hard to imagine that his descendant, Zhou, is so wicked. Heaven has abandoned him, and the people hate him. We have come as a united front to save the people in distress. We will carry out punishment as heaven has willed. We cannot recognize him as the king." Ying Pobai realized it would be difficult to argue with him. He was silent for a moment and thought, "I must speak boldly and swear at him so that I might dedicate my life to the dynasty." He argued back in a loud voice, "Commander, I don't think you are speaking justly. Your mind is too narrow. Should a ruler or father do something wrong, a minister or son ought to admonish him gently, trying to lead him on the proper way. Even if the king or father explodes with rage and metes out punishment by death, imprisonment, or exile, the former should always act as a loyal minister or a filial son, and never expose the faults of his king or father. How can you praise the West Qi regime as virtuous and curse the king as wicked? You yourself are not virtuous in the first place. Though your deceased king was imprisoned for 7 years at Yoli, he always behaved virtuously and never uttered a word against the king. How could we have guessed that his descendant would act so lawlessly? The people can't live and work in peace. You humiliate your deceased king and offend the whole nation. Even if you have filial sons and grandsons, you will never escape universal condemnation for your crime as usurpers and murderers of the king. Besides, we still have 100,000 soldiers and several hundred generals. The final victory is not yours yet. How can you be so proud?" All the dukes and nobles listened on with growing wrath. Before Jiang Ziya could say a word, Jiang Wenhuan rushed up and pointed at Ying Pobai with his sword. He swore loudly, "If you are such a great minister, how is it that you failed to lead the king in the proper way? His end is near, yet you go on so shamelessly before the dukes. You are lower than a pig or dog. Get out at once to save us from killing you." Jiang Ziya hurriedly stopped Jiang Wenhuan, saying, "When two countries are at war, their messengers are always regarded as innocent, free from all charges, as each only speaks as the representative of his own master. We should not trouble him." Jiang Wenhuan was still angry, and Ying Pobai grew red with his own fury. He got up and said loudly, "Your father plotted with the queen to murder his majesty. Why are you still so wicked? You don't try to repent for your father's crime, but only rebel against the royal government. You're just like your father. I can't put you to death for his majesty, but I'll put you through hell after I die and turn into a wicked ghost." Jiang Wenhuan grew even more furious and roared with his sword in hand. "You damned old fool! Why was my father cruelly minced to death? Why was Her Majesty the Queen innocently slain? I'll tell you why. Because there were and still are gangs of wicked ministers, such as you, in a conspiracy against the king, inducing him to commit as kinds of evil. If I don't send you to hell, my father will never have the chance of being avenged." Then, before Jiang Ziya could stop him, Jiang Wenhuan lifted his sword and slashed Ying Pobai in two. "Hail Duke Jiang for sending such a damned fool to death." All the dukes cheered. "No, it's not right. Ying Pobai was sent here to make peace. We should not have killed him. We've only helped him get a good name in history." Jiang Ziya silenced them. "He insulted me terribly. How could I set my heart at ease if I didn't send him to his end?" Jiang Wenhuan argued. "It's too late for regrets. There's nothing we can do now." Jiang Ziya said at last. He ordered his men to bury Ying Pobai with full funeral rites. If you want to know how things developed, please read the next chapter.